Hello everyone, welcome to TMHW Gaming. My name is Chris. Just to have a quick video to start off the week. I have been playing through Season of Blood for some time now, and I've done a few different things after getting to Tier 3 or Nightmare difficulty. Today I want to give some thoughts on the different events that play out after reaching Tier 3. But before we do that, if you want to stay on top of all things Diablo 4, plus Xbox and PC gaming, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Like the content that I do, please hit the like button. And if you want to be notified when I go live or drop new content, make sure you hit the notification bell. Now let's get into today's video. So first thing I would like to talk about is the PvP mode. First time going through the area, I was a little confused to say the least. There are two ways that you can go through the PvP area. You can go through unmarked or you can go through marked. This is to let other players know in the area if you are ready to fight them or not. But there are other things to do in the PvP area as well. There are plenty of whispers to complete for rewards at the Tree of Whispers, and then there's also the Helltide shards that you purify for a different type of currency for vendors in the PvP areas. Combat is not as intense and hectic as the season event Blood Harvest, but I did notice that enemies do drop a whole lot of blood shards. I also did face a major enemy in the PvP space with another player that was doing his thing. Although you complete whispers in the PvP area, I don't think the rewards differ because of where you did it at. I think once I get to World Tier 4, the PvP area will be a little more populated with people that are fighting each other. Right now, that space I believe is being used to help level up faster than normal to reach World Tier 4. There's a lot of fun to be had in this area, but in my opinion, it is being underutilized in World Tier 3. Maybe the developers can do something to entice more people to come to the Fields of Hatred and the Nightmare tier so that we can get our feet wet with what's to come in Torment. So the next thing that I would like to talk about is the Nightmare dungeons. After doing quite a few, I still have to say they are still a ton of fun to complete. But yet another mechanic that I'm still trying to understand. So you get the Nightmare Sigil to open the dungeons, and you go do the dungeons and you upgrade your glyphs and your Paragon board, and then you leave the dungeon. And when you go back and you look in your inventory, you still have that sigil. I have seen the Nightmare Sigil, but I did not see where the sigil upgraded. So still trying to figure out how that works. Even though you can still go to the occultist and purchase sigils, I'm not sure how upgrading the sigils works. Also, the leveling of the Nightmare dungeons is kind of a mystery to me still. Here in this footage, this is a Tier 6 Nightmare dungeon, and the level of the enemies in the dungeon are 6 levels below me. Not quite sure how that works. I did purchase a Tier 10 sigil and noticed that the enemies were same level as me. If someone can maybe let me know how they work, because from my understanding the Nightmare dungeons were supposed to be higher levels than you are. Either way, it doesn't take away from the fun, and a lot of the things that I've acquired out of the dungeons are incredible. Make sure you're doing your Nightmare dungeons once you get into World Tier 3, and I'm going to tell you how to acquire your first one. Once you complete your first set of Grim Favors, that's 10 favors to trade into the Tree of Whispers, the tree will give you your first Nightmare Sigil. After you go into the dungeons, the sigils drop at the dungeons. So to acquire more sigils, you have to do more dungeons. I do think that this is a great mechanic that they added in to keep us in the dungeons, because the dungeons are really fun to do. At the end of the day, Diablo 4 is a dungeon crawler. The last thing that I would like to touch on in today's video is Helltide. This event is so fun. To me, Blood Harvest is a spin on Helltide. So in Season of Blood, we have the boss ladder. And if you thought Blizzard was going to make it easy for us to find these bosses and kill them because this is how we farm our uniques and uber uniques, no, we have things that we have to do first in order to summon the bosses. Now, I will say the first boss is actually Lord Zir. You have to defeat him in order to get one of the vampiric powers. He's also the last boss in the Season 2 quest line. The next easiest boss to get to is the Ghost of Arshan. The only places that I have gotten the pieces needed to summon him is in the Blood Harvest, but I'm sure there are other places that you could go. But Helltide is connected to another one of the bosses. Grigor the Galvanic Saint requires living steel to summon him. So if you've ever been in Helltide and you've come across a boss in a big red bubble with a lot of activity going on around him, that would be He Grins Wide and Waits. Not a particularly hard elite, but one that does have a little bit of bite, and if you have any elixirs that add resistance to lightning, you definitely want to use it here. So with Helltide, no matter the World Tier 3 or World Tier 4, you have to complete 2 Helltides to acquire all the material needed to summon Grigor. I did notice in my 20 minutes in Helltide that I did level up a few times, so they really want you in this event and completing the whispers and opening the chests. So when you see the event come around, make sure you go in and you complete it and have fun doing it, because the rewards are worth it along with the level up. Not much more to say about the 3 events that unlock once you move into World Tier 3. All 3 events are definitely a joy to play, and kudos to Blizzard for the 40% faster leveling. I am having such a good time playing this game, and the enjoyment comes through loud and clear on my live streams. If you haven't had a chance to check out a live stream, I do leave them up on my channel so you can go back and watch them at any time. I really like the direction that the Diablo team is taking the game and the events that we still have to come in Season 2. But with that being said, there is no more. Thank you guys for taking the time to stop by, check out the video, and like I said in the beginning, if you think the content was worth it, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, and don't forget the notification bell to know when I drop new content or go live. So remember guys, like I always say, love is life, and life is laughter. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.